you guys are the missing link as far as I'm concerned. So I would love to hear more about kind of what your backgrounds are in getting to this place of being passive house consultants. Yeah.
I mean, our background, Mike and I, we went to school together, Virginia Tech, and we did some sustainable work in Europe, working for some architects over there, and then, brought it back to the States when we started our own company about 2 years ago now.
So you both have your degrees in architecture. That's how you got into it.
Yeah.
And then you've notched off a specific niche, because I've asked you guys both to just be an architect for me, and you guys aren't interested in just being an architect. You guys want to be exclusively passive house design architect consultants, which I think is great.
I think that's
Lock your heel in on that.
Our kind of fundamental concept is modern architecture paired with ultra low energy efficiency, and I think that
mine too.
I know, right? So they dovetail really nicely.
That's why I want to work with you.
And so I think that it's a really good niche to be in. I think a lot of conceptions about passive houses are ugly boxes, and so we're really interested in kind of just breaking that box, I guess, is one way of thinking about it. So.
Breaking up that box so it's actually architecturally interesting and actually really efficient. So.
Yeah, in terms of development projects in Seattle, I think there are a couple of multifamily projects that may be in the works. I think in terms of
speculative building, I don't know if there's anybody else trying to do it.
Not in single family homes.
Yeah. Which I think is going to be, I think that's where the biggest audience is, I think, and that's where we can make our biggest, the voice for passive house be heard, is I think if we can showcase to these other builders that, we have the consultants, we have the design, and we have the systems that, you can do it, then, and it doesn't necessarily have to cost that much more money.
Right.
It really doesn't. I mean, there's obviously some cost, but it's not, no more than a 5% contingency would be thrown into a budget.
Right.
I'm finding. So if we can save 5% more, you can be passive, why wouldn't a builder want to go there?
Exactly.
Especially if you have guys like you to help them get there and guys like me to help them get there.
Well, and the other issue about that too that's really great is the single family housing, detached housing is generally the hardest to hit passive house on. Yeah, when you start grouping buildings together, right, there's less surface area, so it ends up being easier. So multifamily, I mean, it should be a no-brainer in some areas.
So like a 4-unit row house is easier.
It should be easier, yeah.
Because the inside units are insulating each other.
That's
basically.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Wow.
So less surface area, right? It's kind of like, it's cold, you huddle together. I mean, it's the same concept. And so, I mean, that's kind of where we'd like to go eventually is row houses.
We got a couple row houses in plans.
Yeah, exactly.
Or in the works, we got to get you guys there.
I think that would be the easiest.
That would have been nice.
I think it'd be much easier, definitely, than the detached housing. So,
Yeah.
So if you can show that on detached housing, it can be profitable and it isn't too difficult, and especially as you start to roll it out, I think that
that's the story. Yeah.
Yeah, that other people will pick up onto that, and then especially the multifamily developments. And for me, I think low income, where there's the poverty issue, the energy poverty issue, it totally circumvents that whole problem. And so social housing, I think, and that's the way it is in Europe a lot, is the passive house requirements are really great for social housing.
Yeah.
In terms of affordability, comfort. So.
We've actually been reached out to by a guy who develops senior housing.
Yeah,
so it's another one where they're on a fixed income, and so so he's looking at doing a cluster of small little passive homes that for people with these set incomes, and the utility bills go down, the water bill goes down, the sewer bill goes down,
and they stay warm.
And they stay warm and comfortable,
exactly.
and they still have their own homes, and they still own their own homes as opposed to living in a. So that's something that I'm glad you guys brought that up. We'll be talking about that for sure.
Right, cool.
Yeah. So I mean, I think the future is kind of bright for all.